Okay, finally on your worksheet, I want you to think about that third part of the equation, the consequence. What happens after the behavior occurs? What does your son or daughter get when they engage in that? Let's talk just a little bit about the consequence part of it. Again, in behavioral terminology, when you're talking to your therapists and if you're talking to psychologists or behavior consultants, they're going to talk about what function does this behavior serve for the child. And that function means what does the child get as a result of engaging and demonstrating that behavior. Behaviors can get, in the broadest sense, two kinds of things. They can either act to get or obtain something, or they can allow the child to escape or avoid something. Some of the things your sons and daughters may get when they engage in problem behavior, whether it's a temper tantrum, whether it is some self-injury or some aggression towards others, maybe they're trying to get a tangible item. Maybe it's a toy, maybe it's a food item, maybe it's access to the television or the computer that they want to play with, whatever. It may be to get your attention, and that's a tough thing sometimes to really work against because you can't ignore those kinds of behaviors. It does get attention quickly. Sometimes our sons and daughters are trying to get some sensory stimulation. They may need to have more input than you and I need. Their neurology is just a little bit different, and I think you'll be hearing a lot about that in an upcoming workshop. So when they are not stimulated enough or can't appreciate the kind of stimulation that is coming in, then they may engage in problematic behaviors to get a different kind of stimulation or their own stimulation. And again, sometimes it's to gain access to an activity or a material thing. Don't ignore what kids avoid by engaging in problem behaviors, because this really operates more than you and I think about it. It probably accounts for 80% of behavior problems that occur in school situations because kids are trying to avoid teacher directions and work. I don't know what it is in the home situation, but my guess is it's more than 50%. Kids are trying to avoid doing what mom and dad ask them to do. They're trying to avoid being in a situation that is stressful or upsetting to them, maybe overstimulating to them. They're trying to avoid or escape the pain from an earache or discomfort from having a cold or a stuffy nose that goes along with those allergies. It might be to escape or avoid, the feeling of the tag in the back of your clothes or the discomfort of that little knot on the side of your sock. It may be, again, to get out of doing a task. It may be to avoid sensory input as well. So it may be too loud or too hot or too noisy where you're asking them to go or what you're asking them to do. So they're trying to escape those kinds of things. So don't ignore how powerful escape and avoidance is as a function of behavior.